I want to welcome Miss Erica Hunter to my show. She's the owner of Sweet Lois Confections here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. How have you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. For the listeners that don't know about you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Absolutely. My name is Erica Hunter. I am in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I am originally from Baltimore, Maryland. My husband and I migrated our family down here because we're both entrepreneurs and felt as though the Atlanta area would afford us a better opportunity to grow our businesses.
And Sweet Lois Confections, tell us a little bit about that.
Sweet Lois Confections actually started in honor of my grandmother. She was the one who originally taught me how to bake. So when I started a baking business, I thought what better way to honor my grandmother than to name it after her. But Sweet Lois is a boutique style bakery. We specialize in buttercream, bespoke cakes, cookies, cupcakes, desserts, you name it, we can do it. My flair is an artistic expression. Mm-hmm. No two cakes are the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I know you got this, and your grandmother has some influence in you starting your business. But outside of that, what made you choose this type of business to get into?
Well, actually, I stumbled upon it. I had no intentions on starting a baking business. I baked for my family for years for holidays and different events. Mm-hmm. And I gave a vision board party at my home, and I waited too late to order a cake. So I said, well, let me just try my arm at making a cake. And my friends were like, oh my God, the cake is amazing. You should make more. You should do this. And I was kind of like, no. And then one of my friends said, can you make my daughter a birthday cake? And I thought, girl, no, I can't make anybody a birthday cake.
Right.
But she trusted me, and it turned out really cool, and everyone loved it. And then, my friends kind of pretty much pushed me, and my husband pushed me and said, you really, you have a niche for this. You should give it a whirl. And
okay.
That's how it started.
Oh, so that's how you had the right idea for starting this business.
Yep.
Gotcha. Totally understand that. And with your business working the way it does, and you're getting the feedback from your clients and your family members, what about your business is unique other than other cake businesses or bakeries, or what's unique about your business?
What's unique about Sweet Lois is that we bake each and every cake with the recipient in mind. So each time that I make a cake, I ask a lot of questions when I'm taking the order. I need to know about the person, what their favorite color is, what are they into. So when I am freehanding the cake, I can keep those things in mind. If this person likes flowers, and I'm going to incorporate a lot of flowers. If they love butterflies. And I think that's what set us apart, is that I care deeply about the recipient being in awe of their cake.
Right.
So I put that extra detail into the cake.
Right. And obviously this my show is about success, and we want to help people, whether they're wanting to start their own business or they have a business and they may get down in the slumps or something. We just want to help them with some of the stuff that you may tell me, and it's obviously it's going to help them.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to ask you about is starting out with your business. How many hours a week or a day, a month, or whatever? How many hours would you say you started in your business working to build your business?
I would say 50 hours, a lot. I worked a lot. I was so eager. Well, let me backtrack a little. My personality is that if I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. And when I first started out, of course, I was brand new to decorating cakes. So I spent a lot of time practicing. It'd be many nights I'd be up 2-3 o'clock in the morning. After I do litigation for my day job. So after getting off work, I'd come straight to the kitchen and work and practice. And I'd cry. My husband say, it's better than the last time. Don't give up. I would say, honestly, when I first started, about 40, 50 hours on top of my full-time job. Right.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that that's what it takes. It takes that drive, that determination to keep going, even though you're tired. You have to keep going if you want to see your dream come true.
And eventually, it got better. I started noticing that different things that were a challenge for me became easier and easier. And as I started producing cakes, people getting feedback and people would like them, and it just kind of gave me the push and the momentum I needed to keep going.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you mentioned a little bit, or you touched on a little bit about the challenges that you may have had with, working late, being tired and all that. But starting your business, did you have any fear, or what was your greatest fear in starting a business?
Oh, I had tremendous fear. It was fear of failure. It was fear of not being able to grasp, because how you have an idea in your mind, like I want to be able to do this style of cake or this project. And then that doubt would come in and be like, well, what if you can't? What if you aren't good enough? What if you don't grasp this? What if it don't work right? And then one day I really just had to sit down and be like, faith over fear. Like, I have to be faithful. I have to trust in myself. I have to trust in the gift that God gave me. And I just got to go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, everyone in business has these adversities in business. And some of my adversities were these naysayers that may have doubted what I was doing or asked questions like, why do you want to start a motivational speaking business? Or why do you want to do things on YouTube? And they were just kind of putting it down. Do you ever face any adversities with that, like dealing with some of your friends, family friends, or anyone ever say anything like doubting you or anything?
I've been blessed that no, I have not. I haven't experienced that. Thankfully, I have an amazing group of people, friends and peers who actually support me. And believe it or not, I was the one doubting myself. I was the naysayer for myself. And there'd be many days when they'd be like, no, you push me. You can do this. You got this. Look, taking all of my cakes and showing me my own progress.
Right.
So thankfully, I haven't had to experience that. And I have had some other bakers that have kind of laughed at me when I first started.
Right.
And I just blocked it out. I just had tunnel vision on. Each month I would set a goal. When I very first started making cakes, I could not frost a cake neat to save my life. So I set a goal for myself. I said, Erica, in 6 weeks, you will have this mastered. And in 5 weeks, I had it done. Once I had that done, I said, okay, well, next we have to set a new goal. So I was blocking anything out. I noticed a little shady comments or, people snickering if I post a cake. But then I noticed that the student became the teacher really quick because I got it. I gave it 100%, and before long, those snickers became, "Hey, girl."
Exactly.
"Hey, girl, oh my goodness, how did you do that?" Or "How did you?" So.
I know that all too well. It's something how human nature or the way people treat you. When you're first starting out with something, and there some of them, like you said, you had that support from your family, but you got a little bit of pushback from some of the business owners or whatever, or maybe just a couple other people that's kind of questioning what you're doing. But it's kind of funny how that changes a little bit once they buy into what you're doing. Yeah. But I know for me, I never forget it though.
I don't, and I'm kind to people, but I'm always remembering the shade in the beginning. And I also chuckle because I believe, God got a way.
Exactly.
Those same people that laughed, and I don't mean this to be not to be arrogant, but I've surpassed them.
Oh, absolutely.
In a lot of areas. Now they're the ones in my inbox saying,
absolutely.
"Oh my goodness, girl, how'd you get this way?" And I just, even though I shared the information because it cost me nothing, it's still kind of funny.
Yeah, it happens, so you just, like you said, you just move on from it.
Yep.
So obviously, again, we're talking about success, but I'm interested, and I've seen your cakes that you've posted. I haven't tested one yet, but I've definitely seen one. But what is your definition of success?
My definition of success would be achieving whatever goals you have set for yourself. Financially, at the beginning of the fiscal year, I set a goal, a profit margin that I want to meet. Success to me for that year was exceeding that. Allowing myself to have a real marketing budget.
Right.
That's success to me.
Right. Absolutely.
Each year I kind of set another ambitious goal for myself, and hitting that mark is success for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what would you say is your greatest accomplishment in business or with your business?
My greatest accomplishment would be relationship building. I have been fortunate enough to have some really great relationships with some really great people that keep me working. And I think that's important, because no matter how good your product is, no matter how good your talent is, if you don't build relationships with people won't call you back again.
Absolutely.
And I work a lot because I build relationships, and I work with integrity as much as I can to keep those relationships solid and good and give people a quality product.
Absolutely. Do you believe there's some sort of pattern to becoming successful?
I do. I think consistency is very important. I think you can be consistent without being complacent. Mm-hmm. So I am consistent with producing quality product, but I'm also not complacent. So I challenge myself to learn new things, to introduce my customers to new flavor palettes, to make my customer experience different. So I'm still consistently striving to be better without just giving them the same old complacent experience over and over.
Absolutely. And what's your favorite aspect of becoming an entrepreneur or a business owner?
Doing what I want to do when I want to do it.
With time?
Yes.
Just having the freedom?
Just having I think my goal is to be a full-time entrepreneur in the next 2 years, and really just for the freedom. So I want to be able to work as hard as I want to for a certain amount of months, and I want to be able to take a month off if I want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want that financial and lifestyle freedom.
Exactly. And I think all entrepreneurs definitely strive for that.
Yes.
And with someone that wants to start in your follow in your footsteps, what's some key activities that you recommend them doing or invest their time into doing if they wanted to maybe start into getting into the type of business that you have?
I think they should find their niche market, and I think they should be everywhere that those people are. I cater to adult cakes, and my market is to women and men in that age bracket. They're going to be having anniversaries and birthdays that want the kind of cakes that I make. I don't market to children because I make children cakes, but that's not really my market. So I would say find your market, your customer base, and be everywhere those people are. Market to those people, post and generate content that will appeal to those people, and stay consistent with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's like you said, once you find that niche or that road that you need to go down, that you're getting most of those leads from and everything, or who you want to please, the business is going to come. It's just going to automatically. And doing your
homework. Do your homework and find out what those people like. If you know that your customer base are women 25 to 40, then you need to be researching what those people like, and you need to have content to capture those people's attention so they can know you're there, so you don't get lost with everybody else that does cakes.
Absolutely. And you bring a lot of energy to my show. So where do you get your entrepreneurial spirit from? Were your parents entrepreneurs? Where does your entrepreneurial spirit come from?
Both of my parents worked 9-to-5 jobs. I think them not being entrepreneurs actually gave me my push.
Right.
I watched my mom work so hard to afford us a nice life, that it in turn made me want to just do things a little bit differently. So I want to afford my kids a nice life, but I just don't want to work for somebody else that hard. I don't mind working hard, but I want to work for myself.
Absolutely. And building this successful business, what are some of the principles that you follow to continue building your business?
Consistency. Even when I have my children, or if I pay people to come on board to work with Sweet Lois, I make sure they understand that the mission is to provide quality products. So if you are not willing or have a heart and you're not dedicated to giving 200%, then don't do it.
And do you currently have any books or in the works, or do you have a book out?
I'm working on an ebook now that I will launch for the holidays, and it will be a bunch of 30-minute meals, and it will be accompanied by a dessert to go with each meal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And if you wrote a book about yourself, what would you name that book and why?
Oh, I would name that book Just Erica.
Just
Erica. Literally just Erica, and I would be completely transparent. I have quite a story. I have experienced some things in life.
Exactly.
And one day when I am comfortable enough to be completely that transparent, I will do that.
Gotcha. Totally understandable. And with your business, with the cakes that you create, and like I said, I've seen a lot of them. How do you generate new ideas for your business or for the cakes that you create? Or does that come through requests from people, or how do you just create something on your own?
I promise you, it's really just a God-given gift. Sometimes I keep a notepad beside my bed. I keep a notepad there. I keep a notepad. And sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up and be like, oh, and I have to sketch it while it's fresh in my mind. But it really just comes to me. And I love when my customers give me creative freedom and say, look, this is my vision. This is the theme of my party. Do what you do. And I work best that way. Oh, so the ideas just kind of come.
Just kind of come.
Yeah.
And how do you market or advertise your business?
I do Facebook. A lot of Facebook and Instagram ads. I reach out to a lot of wedding planners and coordinators and build relationships with them and just kind of market myself to them. And I've built great relationships with them that has been super productive for my business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about this. Since we talked about your book that you might write, but I'm curious about this, kind of switch gears just a little bit. If you could talk to one person from history to gain inspiration from, who would that be and why?
It would be my grandmother. It would be my grandmother, Lois. She was extremely wise. So many things I'd like to hear from her perspective on. Yeah, she was a homemaker, but to me, she was super successful. She raised 10 successful, healthy humans. Kept a house together, cooked dinner every night. Just wise. I would love to just sit down with her and pick her brain and gain some wisdom. So it would be my grandmother.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's looking at you right now. Just,
love my grandmother.
Saying, that's my baby. And for the listeners, as far as contacting you and getting business from you, how can they contact you?
They can reach me on the web. My website is www.sweetlois.com. They can reach me on Instagram and Facebook, and that is Sweet Lois Confections. And I'm even on Twitter at Sweet Lois. And yeah, that's about it. Or they can reach me by email. On all of my social media handles, I have methods of contacting me, the contact button for email. You can call me on my direct phone directly from Instagram. So it's a bunch of ways that you can reach me.
Okay. And for the show, what's your phone number that they can reach you?
678-459-5103.
Okay, great. Well, listen, Erica, I want to thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview for me and with me. Yeah, I appreciate it. And it's going to help a lot of people, obviously, whether it's an entrepreneur or whether it's someone that's struggling with something in life. I know your words are they're going to help someone, definitely,
I hope so.
And motivate them to, maybe get off their butt and do something that they've been wanting to do for a while, or to just go after anything. So again, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to come here and do this for you.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Thank you.